Off to the sectional final once again for the Caledonia Warriors after a victory on Monday Night Football as they defeated Lewiston Altura. Head coach Carl Fruechte joins us. And, Coach, what got it done for you guys last night?
Well, I think getting off to a fast start and paying attention to detail. It was a sort of a rough game for us, but you got to give Lewiston Altura a lot of credit. I thought they played hard. I thought Coach Olson had his kids ready, and we were able to put up a couple touchdowns and keep them at bay.
And a pretty good statistical night for Owen Denstead. 6 overall carries, 3 touchdowns. That's efficiency, right?
Yeah, I mean Owen's a very good football player, great competitor, great young man. He's going to do well in life.
And how did you keep your team fresh as possible, knowing the fact that you ended up having about 12 days between games? Normally a stretch that you're playing 3 games in 11 days.
Yeah, it was easy to keep them fresh. It was actually, us coaches were talking, we needed a game, and that's a long break for high school boys, but it's what the rules are. It's the way it is, and you got to deal with it. Right? Adapt and overcome.
And a good balanced attack offensively last night. 214 yards through the air, 199 on the ground. How'd you make it so statistically balanced last night?
Well, Coach Pitts is calling a great game. To be honest, Darren, I was a little frustrated with our offensive line.
Yeah.
I thought we could have done a better job. I thought we needed to keep our pad level lower, and we needed to, buzz our feet and keep our hands in and drive block a little bit better, to be honest. But again, Lewiston deserves a lot of credit, and we're going to have to up our game big time for Friday.
And this Friday, you take on Dover Iota, a team that you had to come from behind and get a victory a few weeks ago against. What do you take from game number 1 to get you ready for game number 2?
Well, then again, we better realize we're playing a very good opponent. This generation's a little bit different, Darren. And I see it across the board from a lot of I'm hearing from a lot of coaches. I see what I see. You got to be consistent, and if we're not, we're going to find ourselves in trouble. Coach is doing a great job up at Dover Iota. Their kids are hungry. We got to realize that we're going to be in for a ball game for all 4 quarters, and again, that doesn't surprise us coaches at all. And again, kids being kids, sooner or later they got to mature. They got to wake up. They got to understand that every time you step onto the football field, case in point, last night, the other school is going to play you hard, and sometimes it takes people a little bit longer to figure that out, Darren, and we're going to have our hands full Friday, and as we should. Southeastern Minnesota plays a pretty good brand of football. You look at 9-man to 1A to 2A to 3A. There's good football in this area, and we're excited about Friday.
And you kind of step right into my next point. You look at the overall section. Obviously, Dover Iota and Chatfield was a heck of a ball game last night. You guys in Lewiston Altura, how deep is this section overall, and how does that get whoever comes out of this section ready for the state tournament?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's nothing against the Big Ten, right? Big Ten's a great conference, but everybody wants to talk about the SEC or the Pac-12 this year, right? And to a smaller example, that's what I see out of our area, right? Section 1 has great football. Look at, in our conference, Triton, I believe, right, is in the section final. I got that right. In Cannon Falls, right? I believe they're in the section final in that section. And again, it just shows you what this conference and what this area is doing. And, to the average fan, it's, well, you didn't make it to state or you made it to state. And I'll say it about last year, the Caledonia, the Chatfields, the Dovers, whoever I'm missing, the Cannon Falls, they're a lot of times, on any given night, any of these schools can win state. That's how good a football. And again, I'm proud of that. I think that's great. You don't want to be in a wimpy conference where it's an easy talk to. If you're a competitor, you got to love this stuff. So I think it's great, and it's good for football. And you got to be juiced about it. If you're not, then you shouldn't be coaching.
And you shouldn't be playing either.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. And I think, that's a great point, Darren. I'm just going to say it. This is what makes me wonder right now about our youth right now. Parents to me got to step up and say, you know what, you got to fight through these dogged times, and you got to, go through some adversity. And sometimes let's just call it what it is. I think sometimes we make it too easy on our youth, and they need to buck up and get tougher.
Well, and you'll definitely have to have the opportunity to do that this Friday night, taking on a very good Dover Iota team, but they're taking on a pretty good Caledonia team. That's what high school football is all about. Coach, keep your kids healthy. Hopefully, we're talking about a state tournament appearance next week. We wish best of luck.
I appreciate it, Darren. Thank you for all your support. Love how you promote high school sports. Thank you, sir.
Carl Fruechte, head coach of the Caledonia Warriors, getting ready for the section final at Winona this week. It's Caledonia and Dover Iota.